The following podcast is dedicated to sonic excellence.
Mary had a little hair.
Fun with sound.
Donk. Hello and welcome to the Parp Donk Podcast, a beginner's guide to sound design. Come on, let's have some fun. Episode 13, The Worst Sounds, brought to you by the fire truck sound effect.
We got a monster.
It's a monster.
It's a monster. What do you think?
Hello and welcome to Parp Donk. This is episode 13. I'm Amanda.
I'm Jim.
I'm John.
I'm Karen.
Welcome, Karen.
Wow.
This is Karen's first episode of being on the mic fully as a full participant.
Thanks to the listeners, we're able to afford another mic. Karen, welcome aboard.
Thank you, Jim. Thank you, John. Thank you, Amanda.
Thank you. So, yeah, the worst sounds. What are some of the sounds that we hate the most?
Fingers on a chalkboard is always like when people
Classic.
think it's the worst sound. That's a sound that no one likes, I don't think, right?
Right, and that's kind of the one that's upheld as a sound that is unpleasant.
Yes, when you're going to talk about cringy sounds,
Right,
that's
exactly.
That's the one that comes out.
Let's name some other ones. I mean, a yapping dog is a good example.
Yep.
Pippin, ahem.
A fart, probably, in the wrong context. Is
People chewing food with their mouth open.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's
Even
food
closed, you can
noises.
hear
Yeah.
what's going on in there.
Jackhammers.
Babies crying, like a piercing cry.
a clam or a wrong note played.
Yeah, very
Yeah,
good.
dissonance.
Dissonant note.
A loud bang when you're flying in an aircraft.
But if you just hear the bang, you don't know what it is. But if you're
But then you
in
think-
the airplane and you hear that, then you're like,
That's what I'm saying. When you're flying in an airplane, you hear a loud bang, like, what was that?
How about the emergency notification tone? I hate that.
Right, you always think the world's ending,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's just a test.
So what I'm hearing, there's sort of two categories, right? There is the sounds that just on their own are unpleasant to listen to. And I think fingernails on a chalkboard is such a, widely upheld example because it is actually painful
Yeah.
to listen to. And I think the things that are too loud, like the jackhammer, or too piercing, like static or a emergency beep or something
Yeah.
like that, it hurts your ears. That's why we hate those. But then there's the other ones like farting and chewing, and that sort of remind us of things that we don't like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
Wet things.
Wet.
Well, not just wet thing. Like a dentist drill is like a
That's a twofold one because it's actually unpleasant to
Yeah.
hear, but then
Yeah.
it's in your mouth.
when you hear
You
it
know what it
first,
represents.
it's a precursor to pain. So it's
right.
like it's like a pre.
It's like a Pavlovian.
Yes.
It's a pre-chorus of to pain.
The ambulance siren. Not just any siren. New York Fire Department.
Yeah.
That particular one is like gruesome. It's just like goes right through your head. It's got to be like a ramp wave, a sawtooth wave.
Yep.
Well, if we're
So they
gonna-
couldn't spring for like a warm sounding
Yeah,
one.
I don't know whether they couldn't spring for it or whether they like the fact that it goes. You can't talk to anybody while it's going by. You have to hold your ears closed while it's going by, which is hard sometimes. On a rainy day when I'm trying to hold an umbrella and Pippin's leash, to put your fingers in your ear.
John, you got a tough life, man.
You know what? If you're talking about New York-centric sounds, I also think like when you're in the subway and the brakes on the subway car grinding against the metal is like really unnerving. And then if you're like near a bus, it's the same thing. The bus like kind of like the air brakes or whatever it is, and it's like,
Oh, yes.
and you're like, whoa, yeah.
But you're right. The subway.
The subway's horrible.
I think those aren't brakes. I think when they come around the corner, the wheels,
Is that the grind?
because
Oh,
they're
yeah.
trying to go
Yeah.
straight,
Yes.
but the tracks.
Sometimes you can see the sparks
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
shooting
true.
up.
Yeah, when you're coming out of a parking lot or something, and the bottom of your car, the
You bottom out.
transmission. Yeah, how does it sound, Jim?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, let's go into the driveway now and test it with the real car.
I bottomed out on a skunk one time when I was.
Yeah, that's,
Yeah. What else? Some songs, though, right?
Oh, sure. I mean, but everything is subjective with songs.
Yeah.
We built this city. People think that we built the city by. Is it Starship?
Jefferson Starship.
Yeah, I hate that one.
Was it just
Why?
Grace or?
Why?
Right.
Because it's like the epitome of corporate rock.
Oh, okay.
But music, whether we
know what?
love or hate music, is completely subjective, and it's all in service of something, right? Like
Yeah.
when We Built the City was actually made to sell records, you know, the executives played it back and they're like, that's it. It's perfect. It's going to sell X number of records.
Yeah,
and
you know they
anthems.
would, yeah.
So they loved it, right?
Yeah.
And
Which is-
and it has not aged well. And
I don't think it sounded good when it came out. I think I agree with you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
many
yeah,
people
yeah.
felt the same way, but it did kind of sell a lot of records. It
Okay,
was on the
so
radio.
but my question to you is: so the record producers or executives, oh, this is a great song. We built a city. We're going to sell millions of records. That makes sense. How about like Yoko Ono, Kiss, Kiss, Kiss? Why is that there?
Because she is a musician that's wanting to make art for
it's
her
an art.
satisfaction. Right. She's not thinking as much about selling records.
Yeah, it's her satisfaction, but it's also, as somebody who's actually looked at and gotten into the Yoko Ono's artwork, because she did a show in Syracuse at the Syracuse Museum when I used to live up there, and having seen a lot of her films and stuff, it fits right in. Right
It's
into her
consistent
whole
with her
look.
thing, yeah.
So if you don't see the art, you just hear the song, then there's
there's
a problem.
It's
Yeah.
kind of her brand.
Oh, turn that off.
Well, like I said, we used to put that in the jukebox when I was in high school at the local diner at like
Nice.
1 in the morning, like with $85 worth of quarters, and just play it just to watch people like
And you alternated it with what?
with the barking dogs.
The barking
Jingle
dogs.
Bells by the Barking Dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah, in July. For some reason, it's in there. Like, yeah, and then Kiss, 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 and man, if that's
And at this point, you didn't know that you were going to be a sound designer.
no, I didn't.
But you were doing it already.
I was using sound as a weapon, I guess. Then,
Yeah. Well, there you go. You
what is
can-
that called when the Army uses
It's not just the Army who did that for PSYOPs, though. It's also like
Yeah.
places like 7-Eleven. Don't you remember this? 7-Eleven was doing it because kids were hanging around outside or something, and they started doing frequencies that most
like-
adults couldn't
Yeah,
hear.
yeah,
Just
19,000,
to get them to,
20,000
like,
hertz,
go
right?
away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
And
so
just blasting it.
interesting.
Yeah.
That's happened to us. I remember being with the kids, and they're like, "God, what's that sound?" We're like,
Yeah. We're
What?
like, what?
So I had an invention one time that I never made, but I thought I would like to have. So when I used to commute on the train, Metro North, and it would be crowded, But I was really into heavy metal at the time. I kind of still am, And sometimes I put my earphones on and I play it loud, and people would move away.
Oh.
And then I thought, God, what would be great if I had drivers pointing in my ear and drivers that pointed out, and I could mix more out than in and keep people away, And all of a sudden you get this buffer zone around you. And I thought that'd be a good invention,
Yeah, it's like a little electric fence around your
Yeah.
Yeah.
A sonic fence.
So it sounds like you're listening at deafening volumes.
Yeah. And they're just like, oh my God.
Music-wise, one sound that really, really drives me crazy is out-of-phase speakers.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, when people don't even realize it.
Yeah, I know.
I realize
When
it.
the stereo field is flipped, I guess, right? Is the
Well, it's one speaker is hooked up incorrectly.
Yeah, so
that there's a red wire and a white wire, and they're supposed to go to the red terminal and the white
Right,
terminal.
so-
Yeah.
In fact,
so it's flipped.
and one of the speakers is reversed. It's going out while the other speaker is coming in.
and it's a
so-
strange phenomenon. To
Yeah, so
If you
get
walk
this
around it, it's-
strange kind of like imbalance, and it drives me nuts.
Oh,
and
my
then
God.
It's so weird when you walk into somebody's home and
And they've been listening to the stereo for
yeah
10 years.
right yeah.
This is a good way to start talking about that, like, because as people who work in audio, you have certain sounds that you hate to hear that other people, they just don't even notice. Yeah,
Yeah.
they,
Yeah, one of them is that the mix?
yeah.
Is that the mix?
That's one you hate to hear.
Yeah, right. I mean, of course, when the mix is done, John, they'll say,
Well, actually, we are in the mix now. You understand that, right?
So what would you hate to hear in a mix?
You know what I hate to hear is when you've worked on something a long time and you're bouncing it down like the final time, all of a sudden you hear like a dropout or a
Yeah.
click or something.
Yep.
What?
Yeah. I've
Right,
been,
where
I've
did
been
that come from?
Yeah.
I've been listening to this for 8 hours, and
Yeah,
and
which is
now all of a sudden,
yeah,
because you're listening at other things, you're listening to other things, and it's like
and you get fatigued.
that's-
Ear fatigue.
Yeah. And
And really-
it's one of the reasons for mastering. You put a mastering engineer on it,
Yeah.
and they, what the hell is that?
Right.
it's usually best to walk away from it and then mix it.
Yeah. Well, you should take breaks.
Yeah, take
Yeah.
breaks because your ears get beat up. And then
Right.
John's right. You focus on one thing so much sometimes, and
To
for
the
me,
expense of everything else.
yeah, to
Totally.
sometimes.
Yeah.
And if you're doing everything yourself, you should focus. You should like do one pass where you focus on one thing, and then at the end you focus on just the pops,
Yep.
or just the.
If I work on like a sound design thing, sometimes the last thing I work on would be the loudest
Loudest
thing.
thing,
And
yeah,
I go
right,
back the
yeah,
next day, I'm
yeah.
like, what the hell?
Yeah,
What was I thinking?
My group, the Hawaiian Pups, that was always the problem. Whatever the last thing you worked on the night before, that was always the loudest thing
Oh,
in
yeah.
the mix the next
Exactly.
day.
Okay.
You know, when
Yeah.
you bring it up.
Yep.
Yeah.
To listen to. Let's listen to what we did last night, because I remember that sounded really good. Wow, that tambourine.
Unwanted distortion. I mean, you know,
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
hiss.
Yeah, the bad kind of distortion.
Yeah, not the
not
good-
saturation, especially digital version of that.
Oh,
Yeah.
sure. And that's something that anyone can hear too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even the people who don't recognize when things are
Yeah.
out of phase, they will hear
They
digital
know
distortion.
something's wrong there.
People are sensitive to distortion.
Yep.
More than they realize, I think, you know. When we're recording just straight voice, I've had people, is it distorted?
Really?
And it's not.
Well, you know, sometimes microphones and mic pre's
They-
are adding distortion
On purpose.
on
Yeah.
purpose. Yeah. I mean, that's what we call saturation. That's,
Yes.
if you're a musician or, you know, beginning sound recordist, and you see plugins that add saturation, you know, they'll either say saturation or enhancer or
Tape emulation or
tape emulation. That's
Right.
what they're adding.
Yeah, and so when you start stacking things together with saturation, it really fills it out.
Yeah. Yeah, because people do want to hear processing. They want to hear that something has been done to it, because otherwise they could just, you know, listen to the music played
Yeah.
or the voice speaking in real life. They want some sort of, I don't know,
Manipulation.
polish or,
Yeah,
or artifice to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, what else, John? What else do you think there's
I mean, you know what drives me crazy is I've got a refrigerator at home that when
Yeah.
you leave the door open for a little while, it starts to beep.
Oh, yeah.
You're always across the room at that point,
Yeah.
and the thing starts to beep at you like, close me,
Yeah.
close
Yeah.
me.
But that's not at all. That's not something that happens in your session.
Oh yeah,
It just
no,
happens in the world, though.
Yeah,
I
no,
mean,
yeah. No, I thought we were off of that.
Oh,
Sorry.
no, I don't know.
We can go in and out. That's totally
Amanda's
fine.
going to tell us when we're on the next section.
Okay,
John.
yeah.
But no, John, you're reminding me of a phenomenon that I think everyone is familiar with, the noise pollution that has started to happen and is getting worse and worse. Like in the past 10 years, it has gotten way worse. And
Yeah.
that's why, like, you hear, going back to the fire engine or the ambulance
Yeah.
siren noises, you hear recordings of ambulances from like the 70s or the 60s, and they sound almost pleasant to
Yeah,
your ears.
I agree, yeah.
Because back then, that's what passed for unpleasant, because there was kind of less noise in the world. And now, like, in order to get your car out of the way, you need something that really cuts through all of
And
that.
why is that?
Here in
Are
the-
you reminiscing maybe? Or maybe people are more...
Here in the misery of the 2026.
I mean, maybe I'm like having a confirmation bias for the past because I'm so miserable where I am. But I think that's true. I think that like things are noisier now than they used to be. So
Have you ever seen in the city German people visiting? Because in Germany they have strict sound laws, you know,
Right.
much tighter than here. And they would see like a fire truck come by, all the sirens on, but it'd be stuck in traffic, and they're just like. Because
Like,
that wouldn't happen. I don't
mouth
think, you know?
agape.
It's like, wow, that's amazing.
No, but like even like Amanda's saying about the ambulances, like I think like the Europeans are actually doing something with that, like because theirs is more of a wail. It's like it's like
Right.
more like it doesn't disturb you as much as the sirens here. I
It's
don't
like a little song.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's pleasant.
Right.
Very good, everybody. This was a
Thank
good
you,
conversation.
Miss Amanda.
Thanks, Miss Amanda. Jim, I'd like to see you after class.
Yeah, everybody did a great job. Jim,
I'd like to see.
We love, I mean, I think I speak for all of us when I say this. We love sounds that would be bad to hear in real life, but are funny in sound design. Like if you're doing like a comedy radio play or something and somebody's pants rip
Right.
like you want to hear the sound of that. But if your pants really ripped, that would be going
A
back
bad
to
sound.
you know these bad context sounds. That
That's
would
a
be
bad
a
sound.
sound you dread. Yes, but if it happens to a character and it's funny, then it's
Right.
great. Tom Clack, of course, was one of the masters of all time of sounds like that. Things like the tomato splatting, things
Yeah.
like that. There's so much to be said for that kind of rude, sudden eruption of sound. Have either of you ever worked in horror movies where you have to use unpleasant sounds to an advantage?
One of the first things I ever did digitally was they were trying to sell me the unit. There was a Lexicon. The company had a digital recorder.
Right.
And it was 2-track, and they were trying to sell me on the thing. So they brought it in, they set it up in the studio, And so to test that, I went out and bought like a few packages of chicken.
Yeah.
And then,
Frozen chicken,
because I was doing something for MTV that involved horror or icky stuff, and I put the chicken into a bowl and I started putting my hands through the chicken, right, which gives you this like,
Another one is nasty.
It's like, when you're dissecting something in the horror movie and the guts are spilling out. Those are the sounds that you get with that. And I remember it just when I listened back to it, it didn't sound good. It sounded just like. Not that Lexicon didn't. Lexicon was usually very good at this, but I think it was just early digital. It was like it had lots of clicks in it, and
that's weird.
Yeah, so we couldn't use it. We ended up doing it again with tape. That's the kind of thing that we're talking about, right? Also, smacking pieces of meat, smacking large pieces of ham or something. That's a good way to make
like for a punch.
Yeah, for a punch or a slap in the face.
The chicken, if it's a little bit frozen, is good too. For like if you want the bones and stuff.
Oh right, yeah.
So
hang on. I'm hearing that really loud. But
Yeah.
Is it an airplane?
A helicopter.
Oh, okay.
It's a chopper, baby.
They found us!
And now, a word from Parp Donk.
The National Hot Rod Association presents the Spring Nationals 2026. Nitro-burning flame cars blasting down the track. The smokiest burnouts. Jet-powered cars. Crash rockets.
Our mascot Parpy, the orange clown, will be on hand to entertain the kids.
Hey kids, Parpy the clown!
$2 beers, free Parp weenies, always free parking, shirts and shoes optional.
How about sounds that really aren't loud though? Like to me, the sounds of a wasp.
Oh yeah.
It's very scary. Yeah.
That's a scary sound. Or mosquitoes.
Yeah, mosquitoes even worse.
Well, how about this? How about silence? Can be scary.
Like if you're used to falling asleep in a city and you go to the country and it's silent, you can't fall asleep.
Yeah.
You get used to that noise pollution to lull you to
remember
sleep.
Totally. The lullaby of Broadway.
Copyright.
We need the hockey goalie siren every time.
There you go.
An air raid siren would be a scary thing.
Yeah, but I mean, do we hate air raid sirens now in 2026? Like in the 40s,
Depends
they were
where you
very
live, I
scary.
guess.
It might become scary again.
Yes.
Wasn't there an air raid siren or some sort of siren for like during the 60s or something for like an imminent like Russian, nuclear threat?
Oh yeah.
Remember that? Yeah.
Duck and cover.
But wasn't like a specific sound? I'm just trying to remember what the sound was.
I never had to duck and cover. Did you duck and cover?
Yeah, I ducked and
So you were a
covered.
different
Yeah,
generation.
I ducked and covered.
I wanted to duck
We
and
actually
cover.
went out.
Let's all duck and cover
because
now.
you got a break from school. You had to get up and you had to go out into the hallway.
Well, another quiet sound that could be bad is the unflushable toilet, right? But the
Right, you want a big, robust flush.
Yeah.
Like you want the
Bloop.
going back to the funny sounds. Like in a
Bloop.
radio play, you
Yeah.
want the like real industrial
we call-
flush from the
power flush.
public
the
men's
power,
room. Yeah,
Power Flush 2000.
Yeah.
but then if you don't have that, if you have like just the bloop, bloop,
What would we call it at Clack? Remember, it wouldn't accept you. It would.
Yeah, it wouldn't accept
It
you,
would. That's
yeah.
what we call it. It's not, accept me. Because you're in a session, you need to go back, and this is the last thing. You're already taking time to do your business.
Oh my God.
And it's not accept. It's like. Yeah, it wouldn't accept you. So then we got the drumstick.
Well, I don't think that the podcast listeners know about the drumstick.
Should we talk about?
I think you should let people know.
Yeah, we should.
Okay, so there was a drumstick. I'm just going to summarize it because I know that you can do the color commentary about it.
Foley.
But a spare drumstick that lived in the Clack bathroom
In a closet.
in a closet in order to break up solid
Yeah, you actually had to go into
material. Yeah.
you had to go into a closet that had just a radiator in it.
Yeah.
So you had to like really want to get into that closet.
Someone stirred white paint with it at one point, so it was wood, and then white paint to the
paint?
tip, and then.
The scepter of acceptance offered to the toilet god.
So that was and we only it was kind of our inside.
Yeah, we were the only ones who knew about
Like,
it. I mean, it's like
gotta use the drumstick. Yeah, use the
yeah.
So one time,
Like new employees, you would take them in.
Yeah,
And
like,
here's
oh,
the
here's the
closet.
drumstick. Hey, where's the drumstick? Oh, it's in here. So anyhow, so the drumstick was in the closet. So you had to open the closet to get the drumstick. I go into John's room. He's
I'm working with an ad goon.
He's working with the ad goon. That's what we call the ad guys who drove us nuts.
People from the agency who
Yeah.
like drive you up a wall.
Anyhow, this guy, John's looking at me. He's got his back to the client.
Yeah, I was editing piece of tape.
He was on analog tape, yeah. And John's face is red, and he's like cracking up. And I'm like, and it's just like, I'm looking at him, and he's like, and I look at the ad guy behind him. That guy's got his feet up on the desk. He's got the phone, and he's got the drumstick, and he's tapping it on his lip, like. He's like, no, I'm in the session now. No, we're cutting it. And John's like.
Like beat red.
Yeah, oh my God, he's like laughing like this, like with the razor.
My hands are shit.
I'm like, oh my God. I'm looking at it, and he's like. So sometimes there is a God, I guess.
I should be back in the office in an hour or two. You know what's a disturbing sound to me? Is on a really, really cold night when it's like sub-freezing, under 10 degrees, the way trees sound.
That's a horror movie
when they
classic.
Scrape against each other.
Yeah, and scraping against the wall.
Like the creaking sound?
Yeah. That's terrifying to me. I'll be out walking him, and I'm just like, oh, come on, let's get back inside. I mean, I can deal with coyotes. I can deal with weird sounds in the woods at night, things getting into people's garbage cans, but the trees.
You know, when you're saying animals, what about, Jim, remember so if you go like to certain parts of the United States, there's some animals with the Fisher King, remember that?
Fisher cat.
That's your cat, yeah.
You ever hear the Fisher cat?
Yes.
It is.
Sounds like a child being tortured.
It's a human voice.
Yeah.
It's really scary.
Yeah.
It sounds like a kid.
Like a kid.
Yeah,
it sounds like a kid being murdered.
Yeah. Which is another one of those sounds that's kind of like unnerving as well. Like a kid crying and screeching.
Yeah. A baby. I mean, again, on an airplane, you don't want to hear a crying baby.
Well, I'd rather hear that than a loud bang.
Very true.
Or the pilot coming on.
Oh, the pilot coming on like
super.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I'm trying to use my calm voice right now.
You hear the co-pilot like, holy shit!
I can't steady it!
Everyone just relax and everyone get to the left of the plane.
Yeah, right. If you can get up out of your seats, please, and everyone move to the left side of the plane.
See, this goes back to voiceover, too. It's why a voiceover has to be really good, because if they don't believe what they're selling, you don't believe it either.
Yeah.
But some voiceovers are good enough they can act.
Yeah, that's true. But that's what I'm saying. If they're really good,
yeah,
then
well,
they
that's
can.
what she's saying.
Yeah.
You have to be a good actor. See, John, a good actor.
Jim, see me after class.
So I blacked out there. I've unraveled a lot of my DNA in my youth.
Yeah.
So sometimes How about your mother-in-law's voice? That could be concerning for a sound, right?
Could be.
Depending on who she is.
Yeah, I used to hate it when my mother-in-law would.
I knew I'd get a mother-in-law one out of you.
She knew the commercial. Mikey will eat anything. Remember that commercial?
My gosh.
Mike,
Yeah.
Was that Life?
Give it to Mikey. He'll eat anything.
Yeah. Life cereal.
And she glued that right onto me.
She loved
and
that.
it would be like, yeah, give it to John. He'll eat anything.
I actually never really understood that. Like, it's impressive that he ate something and he's a kid who would eat anything? Like, what's so...
No, I think he wouldn't eat anything. Like, he was really picky.
No, he wouldn't eat anything.
Yeah.
So give it to Mikey,
No,
he won't eat anything is the line?
No. He'll eat anything, yeah. They wouldn't eat it. I don't know. It looks weird. You try it. No, you try it. Let's give it to Mikey.
What was it?
He'll eat anything.
Life?
Yeah, Life
it was
cereal.
Life cereal.
But why are they saying he'll eat anything and then he eats it and they're impressed?
Yeah, because
now they realize it's oh yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
No, but he could have ate a worm right before that. They're going to eat a worm now? That doesn't. I agree with Amanda.
Yeah, you're right, Amanda.
There's holes in that campaign.
I think
maybe we must have it wrong.
I think we have it wrong because Mikey likes it too. So to me, that means that he didn't. He was like kind of like
No,
he's not supposed to. like
Give it to Mikey. He'll eat anything. That was the line.
But I think maybe it was the kid. Maybe it was the kid actor saying it wrong. Like he was sort of slurring it a little bit, and the line was actually "he won't eat anything."
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
That must be it. Because I don't think Mikey ever said anything in those commercials.
No,
right?
he just ate.
Yeah.
That's right.
He looked like grumpy, right?
Yeah. It's like who was the kid in Stand By Me that became famous.
Oh, wow.
Jerry O'Connell.
Jerry O'Connell, yeah, he was like the Jerry
Yeah,
O'Connell of
yeah.
his generation.
Freckle-faced.
Yeah.
Striped shirt.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah.
in Joe's apartment, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
mhm,
He was
yep.
the star of Joe's apartment. That's right.
Oh, what about those sounds?
Oh, yeah.
about
Talking
those
about
sounds?
disgusting
Oh,
sounds.
my, there you
If we forgot about that,
God.
we would lose our
and
10 subscribers.
Joe's Apartment was MTV's feature film starring Jerry O'Connell, and it was based on a short that was on Liquid Television first, right? Is that right?
I don't know.
Well, I don't think it was on Liquid Television. It was just a short that was
yeah.
for
Who made the short?
like we made. I think you made the short.
Oh,
didn't you?
okay.
I think you made the short. I think
Yeah, like I said, I have these moments.
The original. The original. I think
I
was
made it
you.
with Payson, I think.
Yeah.
Okay,
Payson,
yep.
John Payson, producer for MTV, had this brilliant idea based on his own apartment.
Brilliant.
And it was about a man living with thousands of roaches in a disgusting apartment.
Yeah.
But the roaches become his friend.
Yeah, friends.
And they get him out of difficulties.
And kind of put him in.
Yeah, they put him in the difficulties first, and then they manage to somehow get him out. And it's like a really cute idea,
Except
it's cockroaches.
and real
Live action.
Yeah, real cockroaches. Not like Disney where they do ants and they're cute animated
cute,
with
yeah.
nice
Yeah.
eyes and everything. These are greasy,
These were
slimy
disgusting
Yeah,
cockroaches.
we had cockroach
roach handlers.
roach wranglers.
Roach wranglers.
Roach wranglers.
Yeah.
They would come in with 2 garbage cans,
Full of cardboard. No, like
Full-
55-gallon drums.
55 gallons,
Full of cardboard.
full of egg cartons, and they'd take the cover off, and there's nothing but cockroaches.
And you could
climbing.
that's
Wow.
and that sound because they love cardboard. But that sound is like all of them in there.
Yes.
Just seething with roaches
Oh, my
chewing.
And the roach wrangler to shoot them, they'd set up this area and they'd have like 3-foot high cardboard perimeter all around the area, and they just
Yeah,
release
like a
the
corral,
roaches.
like a corral.
And
No,
it really-
first they had them in Tupperware with a hole in it, and they would put N2O.
Yeah, it's
because when the cockroaches breathe N2O, they freeze.
Oh.
Nitrous oxide?
Yeah, nitrous oxide. They just all freeze, and then they can set them up.
Yeah.
Like in
And
specific
that's how you got them
places.
to have
Yeah, and
high
then-
chipmunk
and then-
voices.
and then you- and then you- and then you say, no,
We did that in post. That's the magic of post.
And then they would wait, and as soon as they saw one of the antennas start moving, they'd start rolling film.
Right.
Ah, okay.
And then the cockroaches like all take off in different
Yeah.
directions, of course.
But and then they'd finish the whatever shot they're getting. Then the roach wrangler would go in and get them all.
yeah,
And when he went in there, he'd get in and they'd inevitably step on some. And there was an animal rights person that had to be there because these are animals.
Wow.
And he'd say, you can't kill the cockroaches. You can't step on that. He was protecting the cockroaches.
yeah.
He was
Yeah,
the
yeah,
union
yeah.
rep for
Yeah,
the
yeah.
cockroach.
For
Yeah.
the animal rights person. So he'd
Sounds
step in like, no, you
Yeah, and they
can't.
had the PAs corralling them too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a horrible
What a
job.
shitty job.
I asked him because he worked with all kinds of animals. I said, what's the meanest animal you ever worked with? And he didn't even flinch. He said, squirrel.
It was a failure, by the way. It was a terrible failure.
Yeah, well, like I said,
It was-
because they're
it was-
real roaches.
But this, I mean, that time when MTV and Nickelodeon were firing on all cylinders like that
Yeah.
was such a great time of experimentation
Yes.
Right.
in sound
Right.
design.
Yeah.
And
It was-
it could not ever have been made at another time. Like,
You know, it was a moment of hubris.
right?
Hubris
Maybe
on the part of
you
MTV.
flew too
it was
close to the
peak.
sun.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
a little bit too high because they were warned. It was for Geffen.
Oh, really?
Geffen
David
was
Geffen?
the
that's right.
it was the
Yep.
one of his movies, and they said no, this is a bad idea. And MTV was so certain that they were like, we own this audience.
Right.
We own the audience that's going to watch this movie. They're going to love it. And they were like, I don't think so. This is not a good idea. And they talked them into it. And then they had to take the I told you so.
boy.
They thought they were going to change Hollywood, which many have tried and few have succeeded.
Yeah.
So fascinating.
It
I love
is.
it. There should be a double bill with that and Meet the Feebles, which I don't know if you guys know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Peter
that.
Jackson's first movie. It was like a Muppets parody, but
Oh, really?
all the Muppets were like fornicating and vomiting.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Like, I mean, and I am not super sensitive to that kind of thing, but I was sort of flinching and
is
looking
this-
away from
Really?
some of it. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Something Tom showed you and your sister was you were growing up?
Yeah, right. It sounds like it. But I think even he wouldn't have shown it to me. I heard about it playing
Really?
at the film forum, and I was
Wow.
like,
Wow.
oh, I loved Heavenly Creatures. I'm going to see
Yeah.
this. And-
I love Muppets.
Ooh,
It was-
not those.
All right, so we are going to run down the list that we made ahead of time of all of the sounds that we consider the worst. Some of them we've already talked about.
So get out your pens and pencils.
Exactly. But then we are also going to solicit input from you. We want to hear, what is your least favorite sound? You can write to us at parpdonk@gmail.com, and we will discuss some of your selections in a future episode, which I think is fun.
Yeah. We'll return to them.
Maybe we'll even try to play them for you.
We'll feature them.
So Fingers on a Chalkboard was at the very top of the list, and I still think it deserves to be, because none of the other ones have like that shiver that they give you.
I guess that's the winner.
Yeah,
that's the winner, right? Yeah.
All time, yeah.
And I can't even think of an instance where it's used in sound design except for in Jaws.
I was thinking that too. Is like, why doesn't somebody have that as a ringtone?
Right, and it's because it's too awful. It really holds up as really bad. But yeah, in Jaws, I think probably it's not the real sound because the movie audience would just recoil and hate it. Wrong notes played, or more specifically, a correct order or scale with one note off.
Right.
Like the piano is not tuned.
The Bugs Bunny cartoon.
Kind of a little dissonant.
Yeah, just dissonant.
Right, because you perceive what it should be.
Yeah.
Right.
And you know.
And then you're unpleasantly surprised.
Yes.
A doctor's bad news.
Yeah, see, I think that could be.
But that's the thing. Like, what if your doctor is Kathleen Turner and she's like,
well,
I'm very sorry to say that you've got 2 weeks to live.
Wait, what'd you say?
But no, it's like that. That's a great example of the content being unwelcome, but the actual sonic experience is pretty neutral.
Yeah.
A loud bang on an aircraft and a pilot's slightly concerned voice.
Yep.
A favorite. A bear outside your tent. That's a good one. I mean, it's okay to hear the sound of a bear, but if it's right next to you,
if you have 1 mil of nylon protecting you, it's a little
disconcerting, huh?
Yeah.
The sound of your mother-in-law. Again, if your mother-in-law has a sexy voice, it's okay.
Yeah.
But maybe it's not okay for other reasons.
Yep.
The announcer interrupting the broadcast for special news bulletin.
Right.
As a kid, that is something that always terrified me. It's the most normal thing in the world, but the thing that you wanted to be listening to or watching was Scooby-Doo,
Or,
jaunty Saturday morning, and then suddenly it's interrupted by a serious.
Suddenly the world is coming to an end.
But you think of Orson Welles, the world of the world, right?
Oh, that's right.
And
people believe that,
Right, and that's another thing that was too far ahead of its time, and people complained too much about. Just like Joe's apartment.
Yes.
Dropouts. When you don't finish college and you smoke cigarettes outside of 7-Eleven. No, when your broadcast is sounding sort of.
Yeah, John, do it. I told you the story that one producer I had on the talkback button. She pushed the talkback button for every word. So she's like, I just want. And I remember the announcer's like, he said, and then you need to. I'm like, you just hold it down. She said, what? I'm like,
wow.
Yeah, and then okay. And the guy's in there like, I don't. What?
It's like sound art.
It's like, I don't know. Yeah, like rapping or.
Pippin gets his own entry. In
Yes.
The worst sounds ever.
The most annoying wolf in the world goes to.
Yeah, and then the low flow toilet is the
like
last.
Clue. Pippin in the library.
Pippin in the library with the high-pitched woof.
You pitch him down and he's like a terrible monster. Right, the unflushable toilet, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's the last one in my list.
Maybe it should be not the unflushable, it should be the unaccepting.
Yeah, the unaccepting toilet.
The reluctant toilet.
The reluctant
toilet. I like that. The New York Fire Department siren. I want that one in there.
Okay,
yes.
John.
No, we came up with many more that just came up organically in our conversation, which is great.
Yeah.
No. I want a separate category.
I have a star next to
Right.
that one and tell them that John Terrell suggested it. Yes, and of course the transmission scraping against the driveway. The bottoming out. So please let us know which sound you hate the most, either as a professional or as a human being.
As a whole. You know what sound I hate the most in the comments? You!
Parp Donk.
Yeah, Parp Donk.
When you're listening to my edits, Jim, probably the sound you hate the most is like us breathing through our noses while the other people are talking.
Better than breathing through your
You can breathe that way? That's amazing.
I can go underwater and like bubbles.
How about the mouth sounds when people are like on mic but not recording? Like,
Yeah, I mean, that's
Dry mouth?
You gotta make sure they have water, but
that's funny.
a lot of people can be clicky, you know?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, some are clickier than others. And there are products that you can spray in your mouth to make your saliva
your
more. Yeah, just to not have dry mouth, because dry mouth is what creates those sounds. And everyone says you should eat an apple. If you eat an apple before a session, then your mouth sounds better. Yeah.
But don't drink milk.
Yeah, exactly. Don't drink milk.
Don't drink milk.
Yeah.
I drink so much milk, and I always drink milk in my coffee. And I just don't know if I could give it up for my craft.
Yeah.
Do you think it makes a difference?
Yeah.
Milk? I've never had it.
Milk. No, actually, milk does. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You hear a difference in voiceovers?
Well, you just hear more clicks and stuff. You hear
do.
more.
So you only want to hire vegan voiceovers then?
That's what I do these days. Yes.
Yeah, I don't want your meat mouth getting into my spot, you know?
Milk mouth.
Well, any final thoughts on the worst sounds?
No, I think we've driven this one into the ground.
You think so? I think so too.
I'd like to hear for listeners, though. I'd like to be surprised if there's something else out there that we haven't
I think
considered.
we're missing something probably.
Yeah,
I think we are.
Something
Yeah.
really disgusting.
I think we're a little too close to this. So
Thank you so much for listening to Parp Donk episode 13. Don't forget to send us your least favorite sound at parpdonk@gmail.com.
join us for the next Parp Donk episode when we speak with Tom Salta, sound designer, composer for some of the largest gaming franchises. Halo is among them. And he's also a sound designer for interactive media. So it's going to be a fun conversation with Tom.
From Parp Donk headquarters, I'm Amanda.
I'm Jim.
And I'm John.
And I'm Karen.
And I'm Pippin. Hello. Thank you so much. Goodbye.
Want to show the world you're a Parper? Now you can. Check out our merch page at parpdonk.com/shop.